Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. This is going to be my IFBB Cal Pro preview, which will be taking place this coming Saturday. Charles Griffen, coming off that very disappointing second place finish in Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, is coming in here. He took the week off. He didn't go to New York. He's looking to win here in Cal and take that Olympia qualification all the way to Las Vegas come December. Griffin looks ready. He looks even tighter than he was, if that's even possible, in Indy. I know he wants this win really, really bad. And look, he's got a lot of bells and whistles going. He's got crazy, crazy stride conditioning, better than I've ever seen. He's got a vacuum pose that he didn't have last year. He's got a lot of muscle mass on his body. He's got a small waist. He has all the calling cards of what you would need, you know, for winning here. But, and there's a big but, there's a couple of guys in this lineup that he's going to have some trouble with. One might be Andrea Presti, who was second place behind Blessing Awadibu at the New York Pro this past weekend. So Charles Griffen finished second behind Blessing in Indy, and then Presti finished second behind Blessing in New York. And Presti is probably a little bigger, has a slightly bigger structure than Charles. Maybe not as much wow factor, but big sometimes wins when you put, you know, two guys next to each other on stage with the same kind of conditioning. It'll be a good battle. Presti's got some really interesting and superlative, you know, body parts up there. He comes in with crazy striated glutes. He's got a good back. He's got good shoulder width. He's got a nice taper from the front. He's a good poser. He's got good presentation on stage. He's going to give him and Griffin are going to be battling it out for sure in that top three. Now, who else might be in that top three? I think a guy that we have to really watch out for, a dark horse in this lineup, is Tony Oberton, who has been coming on strong. This guy has put on a tremendous amount of size over the last year. His shape and structure might be the best in the lineup. I mean, he's got those big, big round pecs and delts and that small, tiny waist. He's got crazy glutes from behind. You know, his back probably could be a little bigger and a little thicker, but his taper is so good, that V taper, that I think he's going to be a tough guy to beat. If he can nail that conditioning and really find, you know, that sweet spot where he's full enough and he's grainy and hard enough, he could win this show. He could surprise a lot of people. I think he's got a lot more genetic gifts than everyone else that I've mentioned previous. But can he prove it on a stage? These other guys have both placed second in very good lineups behind Blessing. And so, you know, they're going to have a little bit of momentum. They're going to have a little bit of maybe, you know, not as many butterflies in their stomach. And I think it's going to be those three guys really up there. Now, we also, you know, have to mention, you know, there's a lot of guys in this lineup. Maxx Charles, who was, you know, arguably really good last week, placed third in New York. His glutes and hamstrings weren't quite what I thought they needed to be. I think he has all the tools, especially size-wise and structure-wise, to win this show. The question is he going to be able to, you know, beat some of these other guys in the leg department? Griffin's got great legs. Presti's got good legs. Presti just beat him last week. And you know, Tony Oberton has some crazy wheels as well. He's not the biggest guy, you know, and he might get a little outsized by Maxx, but he's got a lot of wow and a lot of separation in places that I just don't see Maxx having. So I think Maxx is going to have his work cut out for him in this lineup. Probably the other guy that, you know, that is probably going to be the most dangerous is Mo Shaaban, and he's proven himself time and time again already. This guy's a dangerous competitor when he's at his best. The question is, what Mo Shaaban will we see show up on stage? Is he going to be hard and dry? Is he going to be perfectly conditioned? Is he going to be too flat, or is he going to be full? He's a top five. He's top five in this lineup for sure. It's going to be a matter of what he delivers on contest day on Saturday, which is going to determine where he falls in that top five. And I think that goes for all these guys. You know, if anyone comes a little off, they're going to be shuffled to the back of the pack, because every one of these guys that I mentioned has the ability to bring tremendous conditioning to the stage. They all have really good shape and structure. And it's going to just be who's the best on Saturday. And, you know, there's things to consider. Presti just competed last weekend. Will the flight and all the, you know, stress of what he's been doing wear him out? Charles Griffen got the week off. You know, Tony Oberton's completely, rested. So there's a lot of the fine details that we're not going to really know until we see these guys on stage next to each other. But that's the exciting part about doing previews like this. I just don't know who's going to win. There's no clear-cut favorite here. I'm looking forward to seeing who emerges victorious in the Cal Pro. I think that we have to put Presti and Griffin up there at the top just because they just finished second behind Blessing in both those shows. But man, what a great lineup. Stay tuned for all coverage on Saturday of the Cal Pro as it happens. I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.